Hi everyone, my name is Tommy and I'm an instructor for Safe Routes to Schools. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. Here at Safe Routes, we go all around Marin teaching kids how to be safe when they're walking and biking to school or doing any other kind of walking and rolling activity out on the street. What are some good reasons to walk or ride your bike to go to where you need to go? We like to talk about 4 main reasons to walk and roll. First off, it's great for the environment. Walking and biking doesn't cause any pollution. It's also great for your health. Walking and biking gets you exercise, and that's good for your body and your muscles. It's also good for your heart, and it's really good for your brain. And actually, if students get a little bit of exercise in the morning, they're actually better learners when they're in school. Walking and biking can also help reduce traffic, which is really important out there on the street when there's a lot of cars getting to where they need to go. If people walk and bike, that means there's more room for everybody else on the street to go to where they're going. And our 4th reason is that it's fun. It's great to get outdoors with your family or your friends and enjoy your time on a bike. So obviously there's a lot of great benefits, but did you know that walking and biking out on the street is also a big responsibility? Yeah, it's really important to stay safe. So what's something that you can wear to keep you safe? Where might you wear it? Maybe on your head? Yes, it is a helmet. And we're going to jump right into our special video presentation and talk about helmet fit and how to keep your bike safe. So let's start with the helmet check. You want to make sure that your helmet is buckled and that there's only room for 2 fingers between your eyebrows and the bottom of your helmet. You should also make sure that there's only room for 2 fingers underneath your chin strap. So it shouldn't be super tight, but it also shouldn't be loose. And then you can put 2 fingers around your ear, making a peace sign, and make sure that the straps are evenly around your ears. Next up is the ABC check, and that's where we check to make sure that our bike is working properly. So A stands for air. You want to make sure there's enough air in your tires. Next up, we have B. What do you think B stands for? Something that's really important and makes the bike stop for you. That's right, B stands for brakes. This bike has a front brake and a rear brake. And to check both of them, you can squeeze one and try to roll the bike forward. You can squeeze your rear brake, that one's on the right, and try to roll the bike backward. Now we have C. And C stands for chain. You want to make sure that your chain is moving properly. You might need to put some oil on your chain. And that brings us to the rules of the road. Did you know that bikes and cars have the same rules when they're out there on the road? Almost all the rules are the same. There's a few that are different, like bikes can't ride on the freeway and cars can't drive on bike paths. But almost all of the rules of the road are exactly the same because bikes are actually vehicles. So do you think that it's true or false that bikes have to stop at stop signs? It's true. Bikes always must stop at stop signs. What about turn indicators? Do you have to use a turn indicator when you're on your bike? That's also true. Now, bike riders don't have blinking lights like cars do, but we can use our arms to show other traffic where we want to turn. So we hold our arm straight out for going left. We can also hold our arm straight out for going right. Basically, you can think about it as pointing to where you want to go. We have another right turn here where you hold your left arm up and make this right angle. And that shows cars that are over on this side of you, over on your left, that you're turning to the right. And you can also hold your arm straight down with your hand flat out behind you to show traffic behind you that you're about to come to a stop. Can you ride your bike through a crosswalk if you want to use the crosswalk? That is false. Bicyclists must walk when using crosswalks. So you get off of your bike and use the crosswalk just like somebody walking would, checking for traffic and making sure that you don't ride quickly into that crosswalk on your bike, because that can be really dangerous. And now it's time to welcome you to our pedal playground. I'm really excited to show you this drone video. We filmed this with some local kids, and we went out and we chalked out these awesome streets on a school campus. So first off, we're going to talk about stop signs. At a stop sign, everybody needs to make a complete stop. So the wheels on your bike need to stop moving. And a stop sign isn't just an opportunity to stop and then go again immediately. It's where you should look around and see if there's other traffic that might need to go first. And you also want to make sure that the other traffic sees you when you're stopped at a stop sign. You should only go back into the street when you know that it's safe to go. Next up is signaling your turn. We're going to stay over at the stop signs part of our pedal playground. And before each rider goes, they're going to point to where they want to go. And then they rotate around to the right. So the next rider is going to point straight. You don't have to point straight, but you can if you want to. And the next rider to their right is going to the left. And then the next rider is also turning left that way. When multiple people are at stop signs, we talk about something called right of way. And the person who has the right of way is the person who gets to go first. So if you get to a stop sign first, you get to go first. Of course, you have to make sure it's safe to go. But if there's multiple people, we rotate to the right. So since that rider just went, the next rider gets to go after them if they're to that rider's right. All right, let's talk about roundabouts. Roundabouts are also called traffic circles, and we have one at the other end of our pedal playground. The rider inside the roundabout always has the right of way, and we have yield signs on the ground. And what that means is you have to stop if there's somebody in the path of the roundabout. If there's a gap in the traffic, you can ride right in. And there's 3 paths going into the roundabout and 3 paths going out of the roundabout. So as you're in it, you can decide which way to go. Now let's talk about crosswalks. If you're riding your bike on the street with traffic, you have to wait for people who want to use the crosswalk. And you should only go again when they've gotten all the way to the other side of the street. If you're on foot and using a crosswalk, you should always make sure to look both ways and cross the street safely. And if you're riding with traffic and there's nobody in the crosswalk, you don't need to stop. Let's talk about merging. This is our traffic circle station. It has 3 circles that all join together and 1 pathway around the outside to go around the circles. Look at how these riders are going slowly and learning how to control their bike around other riders. This station of the pedal playground teaches students about taking turns, riding on curves and circles, and merging. Merging is when 2 lanes of traffic need to form into 1 lane. To do this, they need to take turns. See how the rider who's entering the circle waits until the coast is clear before they join the other riders. The traffic circles course is a great place to practice riding slow, balancing, and slowing down before other riders are in your path. Make sure to always follow the arrows and don't go the wrong way, or things might get confusing really quickly. It's also really important to take your turns when you get to the center of these circles, and only ride into the circle if you know that the other traffic is going to stop for you. We hope you all get a chance to practice on our pedal playground set up at your school. Even if you don't have a bike or ride a bike, you can bring a scooter if you have one of those, or you can walk on our pedal playground and practice all of these rules of the road that we just went over. When you're getting to school to try out the pedal playground, we encourage you to ride your bike or walk if you're able. And if you live too far away from school to walk or bike, you can do something called park and walk. And that means you drive in the car to somewhere close to campus, and then you safely ride or walk with your family onto campus from there. And it's a great way to practice the approach to school. For when school opens back up and everyone's getting to school, you'll know exactly where to go to get to your class. And remember, be sure to ride slowly, stay in control, and don't do any tricks on the pedal playground. You can do tricks on your own time if you want to, but the pedal playground is all about practicing for what it would be like to ride with other cars on the road. And remember to stay safe and wear a mask if you're around other families. Be sure to look for the flyers about our water bottle contest and send in your submissions to saferoutes@marinbike.org. Once again, my name is Tommy with Safe Routes to Schools, and thank you so much for joining me for this presentation. We hope you have a wonderful and safe time on your bike, wherever it might take you. Take care.